Hello everyone, welcome to your easy guide to English section, and today we are going to start a very interesting topic, that's tenses. And we'll try to break this topic into various categories and understand each of them so it doesn't make us feel tense anymore. You get the pun? Tense, tension? No? Never mind. Yeah. So tense is a form of verb that tells us when the action is happening or what kind of action it is. So basically tells us about the timing of the action and the state of action. So suppose I ask you about some action, say somebody going to school. So if I ask you when did he go to school? So tense will reveal whether the action has already happened, whether the action will happen in future, or is the action happening at this point. So we get to know the state of action, happening, not happening, happened, or the timing of the action, that today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, last year, or whenever, or like long time ago. So these kind of things are revealed by verb. So there are three main types of verb. I'm sure you all are familiar with that: present tense, past tense, and future tense. If the action is happening, sorry, if the action is happening at this moment as we speak, so it is present tense. He is going to school, that means the action is happening as we speak, so this is present tense. If the action has already happened, from the time that we're speaking, he went to school, so he's already been there. Like right now I'm asking you, so did he go to school? Yeah, he went to school yesterday, say. So that means the action has already happened, so this is past tense, it happened in the past. Future action will happen later. We are talking about a future action. He will go to school. Say he will go to school tomorrow. So this action will happen tomorrow. So these are the three main types of tenses. Only if it were to stop at this point, our lives would have been so much easier. But no, sir. There will be 12 categories of past, present, and future tenses that we'll be doing. So let's dive into it. Let's start with the first one, present indefinite tense. Now, I could have called it simple present tense, but no, sir. Why would I make your life easier? I will call it present indefinite tense. No, of course not. I have chosen to call it present indefinite tense because sometimes people get confused. Simple present tense you will remember, but it's better to remember present indefinite tense also so that you do not get confused. You are aware of this term, you're familiar with this term enough that you know it's simple present tense. So, present indefinite tense is same as simple present tense. It talks about your general habits, customs, practices, repeated actions, or permanent activity, general truths. So those kind of things that are like happening repeatedly or they're pretty much established kind of things. For example, a habit. He brushes his teeth twice a day. So this is present indefinite tense or a simple present tense, that this thing is happening in present and this is denoting a habit. So he brushes his teeth twice a day. Custom or tradition. People celebrate Diwali in October or November. Again, this is, we are talking about this in present tense. So they celebrate in October, November. Or repeated action. She goes to the gym every evening. Permanent truths like the sun rises in the east, or the scientific facts like water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So you see, these are simple present tense. There is like that they are showing that this action happens and it's a regular happening. So simple present tense, regular kind of. There is some sort of regularity in them. That's why they could be habits or customs or some practices, permanent activity or some general truth. Okay. So to spot this tense, you can look for the adverb of frequency because, like we discussed, these are the actions they happen on regular basis. So of course they are frequently happening actions. So we can identify them by the adverb of frequency. Now, what are these adverbs of frequency? Always, usually, often, sometimes, never, seldom, rarely, occasionally, normally, generally, daily, frequently. So these all adverbs are telling, giving you an idea about frequency. These words will show you that these actions are happening on a regular basis or on some frequent basis. For example, I always drink coffee in the morning. That means it's a regular thing happening. Every morning I'm drinking coffee. So always is your identification keyword that you can understand that always is here. So it's present, simple present tense. He never eats junk food. So never. So that means it's never happening. The frequency is zero. Never. So again, simple present tense. So the adverb of frequency is the identifying keyword that can help you spot the simple present tense. We usually go out on Sunday. So it's a usual thing. It's not happening with a regular frequency, but it's usually like out of the 4 Sundays, we would go on 3 Sundays. So we usually go out on Sundays. So this adverb of frequency is your identification keyword to understand the simple present tense or present indefinite tense. In present indefinite tense, we use the base form of the verb like go, eat, read, play. But if the subject is he, she, it, or any singular noun, then we add s or es with the verb. For example, if I have to say I eat my breakfast every day, so here I will use the base form of the verb. But if the subject, if it is she or he or it, then s or es will be added. So she reads every night. So the noun, the subject here is she. So for the singular and he, she, it, we will use s or es. So she reads every night and not she read every night. It rain a lot in July would be wrong. It rains a lot in July. So if he, she, it, a singular noun is not there, then only you'll use the base form of the verb. Otherwise, s and es. Remember, I, we, you, they use base form of the verb. He, she, it use base form plus s and es. Okay. So these last two lines are the basic mantra that you have to remember. There is another additional usage of the present indefinite tense, that is historical present or narrating the story. For example, you're narrating some sort of story. For example, Netaji enters and addresses the Indian soldier. So it's not happening at this moment, but because you're narrating something and you're like presenting for the dramatic effect, you're showing that as if this is happening at this point. So that's also correct way to go. But this doesn't mean that the Netaji has like come out of history books and he's narrating the story and addressing the soldiers. But this is just for the dramatic effect. Similarly, some sort of historical event that is being presented to present a picture of things. Now Arjun shoots arrow at Bhishma, or even if you guys are telling some sort of story, oh God, this happened, and then then he enters and his face, something like that. So for that dramatic effect, if you're narrating some story or historical present, then also present indefinite tense can be used. The another additional usage is present future arrangement. So, for example, the prime minister arrives from New York tomorrow. So this is a fixed future arrangement. So here also present indefinite tense is can be used. He leaves for his job next week. So this is fixed. It's a future arrangement. It is fixed. So this also is present indefinite tense. Okay. Now, if you have understood, let's try to do these practice exercise so we can be sure that we have understood what it is. So, make the sentence using present indefinite tense with suitable form of verbs given in the bracket. Okay. I'll wait for you. You can pause the video at this point and just attempt these 5 questions. Very simple. And then we'll move on. Okay. I hope you've done these 5 questions and they are quite simple, I think. So, uh, buses dash on this road every hour. So since it is plural, we'll use the base form of verb. Buses run on this road every hour. Apples dash ripe in autumn. So again, plural form. Apples get ripe in autumn. Meena dash on the stage. Now Meena is singular, so we will add s to the dance. So Meena dances on the stage. The last bus normally dash at midnight. So again, singular, so we'll have to add s. The last bus leaves normally at midnight. Normally leaves at midnight. He dash dinner at 8 p.m. Now you tell me, if it is negative, how are we going to do it? He dash dinner at 8 p.m. He does not have dinner at 8 p.m. We will add does when the negative word has been used. So subject, if it is in singular form, we will use does, then the base form of the verb, and then the verb. So he does not have dinner at 8 p.m. Okay. Now, present continuous tense. So, for whenever you see the word continuous, just remember ing form of the verb. If something is continuous, then it is happening, ing. So, for all the present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, it's simple. Always use ing form of verb. Wherever you see working, swimming, going, raining kind of thing, these are always some sort of continuous tense. That means the action is happening, or that I mean in past the things will change, but the verb form will always be in the ing form. It shows that the action in present continuous tense, it shows the action is happening right now and around the time of speaking. It's used for action that are temporary and not permanent, and the structure is am, is, are plus ing form of verb. So for example, she is not working. So here the action, this is again a temporary stop, she's not working. Or I am going out for a walk. So nobody is walking continuously all the time, that person is going out for a walk. That means this temporary action of walk is happening. She is swimming in the river. Unless she's a fish, She is not swimming all the time. So this temporary action, she is swimming. So this temporary action is happening at this point. It is raining outside. So again, you're not, unless you're living in some place that is like it rains 24 hours, 365 days a year. So it's a temporary action that is happening. So it is raining outside. So the action is happening at this point and it's a temporary and not a permanent action. This tense is also used for definite arrangement in the near future. Definite arrangement in the near future. I am going to the cinema tomorrow. So there's a slight difference. So this is a very near future definite arrangement. She's coming next week. So here the action of going to cinema, it's not like I am going as I am speaking, but definite, it's a definite action and it's going to happen like in a very near future, not like I'm going to cinema like in a very far off future, but in a very like near future. So I am going to cinema tomorrow or she's coming next week. So in the near future, definite arrangements, this is going to happen for sure. Okay, there is a certainty in the action involved. There's also this, that whenever always is used, this is my favorite, whenever always is used, it is used to express irritation or something that the speaker doesn't like not always but a lot of times. For example, when your mother shouts at you, you're always on your phone. So like it's not like you're always on your phone, like of course mom, but still the fact of using always, it's an emphasis to express the irritation. He's always praising his friends. That means that this person is always like praising his friends. Oh, my friends are this and that, this and that. So some sort of annoyance. She's always trying to control everyone. So that's also one way where always is used. Okay. Some verbs are not usually used in continuous form. They describe the state and not the action. Yeah. So these are called stative verb. So for example, we see that in the continuous tense, the ing form of verb is used, like I told you in the starting itself. But there's a catch, as always is, because your life can't be easy with grammar. So the thing is that there are some words that cannot be used in ing form because they represent a state and not the action. So these are the words that represent some sort of perception, thinking, possession, feeling, or some general words. For example, see, taste, smell, hear, prefer, or think, know, mean, to own, belong, possess, believe, wish, desire, hate, to look, seem, appear, affect, resemble. Let's see how these words stay in stative form and they are not used in ing form. So you do not say he's owning a car. That would be wrong. He owns a car. So the act of owning is, while the person is has a car, the act of owning is like a continuous thing, but you do not say owning a car because it's a state, it's not an action in progress. So he owns a car. We are hearing the bell. No, we hear the bell. While the action of hearings appears to be happening, but it's a state that like we are in the state of where the sound of the bell ringing is reaching our ear and this thing is happening. So we hear the bell. It's a state. This house is belonging to me. No, this house belongs to me. Again, it's a state. It could be belonging, it could belong or not belong. So we are in the state of belong. So this house is belonging to me is not an action in progress because ing form of verb represents some action in progress. But that's not happening with belong or hate here. I'm not hating him. No, I don't hate him. It's a state I am in. I could hate him, that's one state. I could love him, that's one state. But the action of hating, it's not like some fire burning inside you and it's burning, some sort of action in progress. That's not happening here. So I don't hate him. It's telling you a state and not a progressive action. Again, I am not meaning this. No, I don't mean this. I am having no house to live in. No, I have no house to live in. So you see, these words are not showing any progressive action. They are showing a state. Okay. She stands in the shade of a tree. No, she is standing in the shade of a tree. Here, the action of standing in the shade of tree is happening. That action is happening. You can stop standing. So that's the action in progress. So here, standing in the shade of the tree is correct. She stands in the shade of the tree is not a state. It's an action in progress. So you see the difference between the stative word and the progressive verbs. Okay. So mark the difference between the use of stative activity and progressive activity. So progressive are temporary or progressive words activities. So for example, the rose smells sweet. Now, this is a state. Here no smelling is going on. For example, she is smelling a black rose. Now, the action of smelling is going on, that she takes her nose close to the rose and she's smelling. So, this action is happening. So, this action is a when this action is happening, then the progressive form of verb, and she's smelling a rose. But when action is not happening and only a state, the rose smells sweet. When the state is being described, then the word smells will be used and it will not be used in the ing form. Similarly, he lives in Chennai. It's a stative verb. No action of living is happening. She is living in India at present. Again, this is a temporary activity, and temporary activity is again a progressive verb. She has a large house to live in. Again, stative verb, because living is not like a progressive action. She's having lunch now. So the action of having lunch is going on. That temporary or progressive activity is having. So it's a progressive verb. It looks like it may rain soon. So it's like looks like doesn't, it's not an action in progress. She's looking at the sky. Now somebody looking, this is an action in progress. I'm looking, I've stopped looking. So this was an action in progress. I can act and that action can stop. It's not a state. So by now I hope you've understood the difference between stative and the progressive verbs. Again, I am seeing him next morning. That's again a progressive verb. The nurse is feeling his forehead. Again, a progressive verb. I think she's a miser. It's a stative verb, because here thinking is not an action that is going on. Thinking is a state that I am in. I am thinking of leaving Chandigarh. Again, thinking is again a progressive verb. Here, I love my sister. Again, it's a state. I love my sister. I hate my sister. These are all state. So I hope this is clear, because use of stative and progressive verbs will be in all the tenses. So I thought it's very important that we get this clarity at this point itself. Now it's clear. Let's try to solve these questions. Again, I'll pause for a few seconds, and I'll expect that you'll solve these 5 questions, and then we'll do it together. So please pause the video and solve these questions. Okay, let's see what these questions are. So is she is not working. She's playing chess with her friends. She's leaving for America next year. What are you reading at present? I am reading a poem. So you do understand the difference between the both readings. We are having lunch at 2 tomorrow, as Ram is catching a noon train. Meena usually does the cooking, but I am doing it today as she isn't here. Okay. Now, the present perfect tense. This tense is a mixture of present and past. So, if you have to make your present perfect, you have to work on your past as well. You can remember like that. When the present and perfect are together, so your past should be perfect. Only then your present can be perfect. Okay, something like that. Present perfect always has a present and past together. Now, how are they together? Because at the time of speaking, the action is already complete in the past, but the effect of that action is still in the present. So it implies a strong connection with the present, though the action has already taken place in the past. So some of the words that are used to express are just, already, ever, yet, so far, recently, lately, till now, of late, by the time. And the structure of present perfect tenses has, have plus third form of verb. Let's see some of the examples. I have just seen that film. Now, the action of seeing the film is already done in the past, but I have just seen the film, that the impact is still there. Like I'm just mentioning it now. So the action is happened in the past, but the impact is still in the present. I have just seen the film, because the word just is uh, joining the past and the present, because just is telling like just before, like this moment that we're speaking. So just seen that film. She has already eaten lunch. So the action of eating the lunch has been done in the past, but the present is still having its impact, that she has already eaten the lunch. Already is telling that it was done, and at this point the state is lunch done. So it was done then, and the present state is lunch done. So these two actions in the same statement. I have already had my breakfast. Again, the action of having the breakfast was done in the past, but the already is telling is joining it with the present. That is, I have had my breakfast. So the action of having breakfast is finished. It started in past and it happened and finished. Have you ever seen a whale? Again, ever seen, that means in your whole life ever seen a whale. So the word ever is taking the time frame longer from the past to the present. It's like that. The time frame of these words make the time frame longer from the past to the present. He hasn't replied yet. That means that from the past till this point he hasn't replied. So it's not just the present time frame that we're talking about. The thing is that in the past also there was no reply. At this point also there is no reply. In the past also I had never seen a whale, or in the past also had you ever seen a whale, or in the present also did you ever see a whale? So these are past plus present. Okay, while the action happened in past, but the impact is still in the present. So the structure is has or have plus past participle. That is third form of verb. So the words just, they show that something recently or already has happened. I have just arrived, like just recently, like maybe a few minutes ago or something like that. Just. Ever is at any time. Have you ever been to Goa? So any time before this point have you ever been to Goa? Yet that shows until now, mostly used in negative. Has he come yet? That means most likely this person has not come. So far till now they are all again up to the present moment, that at this till this point, from the past till this point, lately, off late, they show recently and used only in present perfect. So lately, off late, so these are the words that widen the time frame, because the action that is being talked about was done in the past itself, but it is like telling till this time frame it is not done. So that's why both past and present are joined in this. Now, we do not use present perfect with a specific point of time in the past. So, if we say she has returned 2 days ago, that would be wrong. It will be simple past tense. She returned 2 days ago. She has returned 2 days ago would be wrong, because the like we did the structure is has, have plus third form of verb. So here, because 2 days ago is a specific point that has been mentioned, it cannot be present perfect tense, because in present perfect tense specific point of time is not there. We only tell about that just, already, yet, these kind of things, that just widening the time frame but not giving a specific time, because the moment you do that it becomes past tense. She returned 2 days ago, it's past tense. But she has returned 2 days ago would be wrong, because the 2 days ago is a specific point of time, and then this is not present perfect tense. Okay, so if you mention time like yesterday, last year, in 2021, last week, 2 days ago, the other day, formerly, etc., use simple past and not present perfect. Okay, because then the time frame stops in the past itself. Like, she has returned yesterday, that means the action is done and the time frame is from past to past, it doesn't come to the present. That is why, so when you mention a specific point of time, that means you've put a end to that action in the past only. But in present perfect, the action is coming, the timeline is coming to the present, and that is why it is present perfect. I hope you understand that difference. So the present perfect can also be used to describe how long something has been true up till now. For this you use the words like since or for. So since is used for a specific starting point. So she has owned this parlor since 2002. Again, the starting point can be defined, but ending point, if you define in the past, the starting point can be defined, but if you define the ending point in the past, the whole activity goes to the past, then there is no element of present in it, so it becomes simple past. But the starting point in the past and no ending point, then it is simple present perfect. You have to be mindful of the fact that the timeline of the action should be extended till present. Similarly, when you tell a duration, for a duration, he has known me for 2 years. Here again, there is no end point. So the action is coming till the present. He has known me for 2 years, so even now he knows me, and for 2 years also he has known me. Then there is an element of present involved in this. Okay. And these time expressions, they help you show that action started earlier, but its effect or state continues in the present. So that's about present perfect. So if you have to make your present perfect, improve your past. So present perfect has an element of past extending to your present. I hope this is how you can remember it. So let's try to solve these questions and understand everything better. Again, I'll pause for 4 seconds and you will pause the video and try to solve these questions, and then we'll do it together. Okay, now let's try to solve these questions. In the movie, we have just seen the most extraordinary scene. Hmm? Right? In the movie, we have just seen the most extraordinary scene. So we use just with the present perfect to show very recent action. Again, the word just is joining the past to the present. That the movie we have just seen, in this specific movie, we have seen the most extraordinary scene. So the action of seeing was done in the past, but it's like the word just is adding your past to the present. That, just happened, like just now, from relative to the present, just now. So these words, they join the past and the present. The moment you put some sort of specific timeline to it, that you saw the movie yesterday and this happened yesterday, then it becomes simple past. Okay. This is the best book I have ever read. So third form of verb is read. So here again, while we discussed that it should have third form of verb, the third form of verb is read. So we this is the best book I have ever read. How long have you known him? When asking about a duration from the past to present, we have to use has or have plus known. There are no taxis available because the drivers have gone on strike lately. Again, the word lately here is telling the action started in past and joining it to the present. That lately, from now, they've gone on strike and the strike is still on, sort of. Okay. Vinay has not mended the punctured tire of his car yet. So the yet is again we use the simple present, present perfect tense, and hence has not mended. Okay, simple enough. Now, complete the sentence using the present perfect and the simple past. So there is no confusion. Have you taken lunch? Yes, I dash. Yes, I dash at 1 p.m. So you have to recognize that where the simple past will come and where the past perfect will come. Again, quickly, just take a few seconds and finish this. Okay, let's solve this now. So you have to remember that for actions that happened in the past but are connected to now, the structure is has, have plus third form of verb. Simple past, we have not done that, but it's simple verb in the second form of verb. So if there's a point of time, we use simple past. Okay. So yes, I have. Now here there is no specific time given, so we will use present perfect. So yes, I have. But in the second statement, a time has been given, so it becomes simple past because the action ended in the at 1 p.m. So there is no connection with the present. So yes, I took it at 1 p.m. So I have and I took. Okay. Have you prepared your lesson? Again, yes, I have because no specific timeline is given. The second one, yes, I prepared in. Then the second form of verb, simple. Have you seen such a nice movie? No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Again, simple present because no specific timeline for A and B. For the C, there is a specific time that is last week. So the action started in the past and ended in the past. So it becomes simple past. So I saw one last week. So just the second form of verb. Have you opened a bank account? Yes, I opened one only yesterday. So again, simple past because again, yesterday the action done. So how long have you known this man? I have known him since I arrived here. So, since is the starting point. So, the action is joined from past to present. So, present perfect will be used. I knew him when I was at school. So, the action is done in the past itself. Like when I was in school, I'm not in school anymore. So, the action is finished in past. So, simple past. There is no connection with the present. So, I knew him when I was at school. Now, past indefinite. So we're done with the three present tenses. Now we start with past indefinite tense. Again, indefinite tense is like simple past tense, like we did in the previous one. Simple past tense, we used to talk about something that has already happened in the past, whether once, regular thing, or a habit. So the structure is subject plus second form of verb. No helping verbs like has, have are to be used with this one. So the clue word that you can use to recognize the past simple past tense: often, seldom, usually, normally, always, never, sometimes, daily, frequently, rarely, occasionally. So you can see that this is similar to the past present indefinite tense because that was also telling about customs, habits, and regular happenings or the scientific truths and those kind of things. This is also the same, but the thing for the actions that have already happened. This like the basic difference between past and the present is. So, for example, I went to the market. So here simple past is that we are just using the second form of verb. No has, have, or anything. I went to the market. She ate biryani. So the second form of verb ate and with the subject. So she ate biryani. Subject, second form of verb, object. They danced at the wedding. So again, subject, second form of verb, object. Raju did his homework. Subject Raju did second form of verb and his homework, object. So simple enough. Past indefinite or simple past. Subject, object, subject, second form of verb, object. Now, we also use past indefinite for one time event that are over. So these were for the like regular events. If something is seldom, usual, that means these things were have happened in regular manner in the past. But if one time event that is over, then also. So the clue words for these words are ago, back, before, last year, yesterday, the other day, in 1995, earlier, since, ever since. So, for example, I met your brother yesterday. So this was one time event, the meeting with the brother, and this happened. This action is over in the past only. So simple past tense. I met your brother yesterday. She bought a car 2 years ago. Again, this action happened in past, finished in past, and one time action. I bought a car 2 years ago. Unless you're like super rich and like you're regularly buying cars, then it's not applicable to you. But for the like normal people, now, never use has or have with the past time words. For example, I have met your brother yesterday. That would be wrong. Just simple, like we did. I, the subject, met, second form of verb, your brother yesterday. So again, she has bought a car 2 years ago. This would be wrong. She bought a car 2 years ago. Simple. When it is simple indefinitive, when it is simple past tense, the word simple is in that category's name itself. Then why to complicate it? Just use the second form of verb and be over with it. So, for actions, one time events in the past, or for the regular events in the past, simple past tense, and they are just second form of verb and be done with it. Now, you can't mix the present perfect with a specific point of time in the past, and you cannot mix the simple past. So, we did this exercise in the when we were doing present perfect only. So, I hope this category is clear enough to you that when a specific time is mentioned, for example, yesterday, 2 years ago, or something like that, then it becomes simple past because that means the action started in the past and action ended in the past. Then, of course, it's simple past. But if action started in the past and their effect is still ended, still in the present, so we're discussing that it just got over it, she hasn't come yet, so this like the timeline is still the till the present and not ending 2 days ago or something like that at some specific point in the past, then it is present perfect. Okay, I hope this is clear by now. Now let's do this exercise quickly. I'll give you again 5 seconds. Please pause the video and do these questions, and then we'll do them together. Okay. I think this is the easiest one. You just use the second form of verb with everything. We heard terrifying news last night. They celebrated their success 2 days ago. The police caught the dacoits at 9 p.m. Seema did not find her lost book an hour before. The train did not arrive at 8 at the station yesterday. So we see that there are all like some sort of specific point of time in the past given last night, 2 days ago, at 9 p.m. So that means these are all simple past. These are all actions that started in past, finished in past. So these are simple past. So we use the second form of verb. And again, if there is a negative statement, then we have to use did also. Did not. So did not find and did not arrive. Okay. Now, past continuous. So, with the moment we see continuous, we understand that there is ing form. Now, with past, understand was, were is to also to be used. When that is simple past, no was, were or anything. But when past and continuous is there, then was, were plus ing form of verb. Now, this tense is used to describe an action that was happening at a particular time in the past. So, some past action that was happening that that was in progress in the past, so that progression is also to be shown, so then we use past continuous. For example, it was still raining when I reached there. So when I reached there, I saw an action in progress, the rain happening, so I want to show this action was in progress when I reached, and that is why we use past continuous. He was busy packing last evening. So last evening is also a point in the past, and the action was in the motion at that point, it was happening, it was in continuation at that point. So the action that happened at a particular time in the past. So we are the ing form is always showing an action in progress, and the action in progress is also in the past. Okay, I hope you understand. We because why as we progress, we also have to understand the difference between these new categories from the previous one. So present continuous tense, say how it is different, you have to understand that also. The present continuous action is already happening as we are speaking, it's in the progress. But past continuous tense, the action started in past and it finished in past, but we are describing that dynamic action that happened in past. Okay, so that action in motion is also captured when ing form is there. So he was leaving that night, so the action of leaving, so it is also used to show a planned future action as seen from the past. He was leaving last night, or I asked her what she was doing next Saturday. So we are going in the past, and from that point, this seems future. I mean, the whole timeline is in the past only, but from he was leaving that night. So I mean, we are going in the past, and we're talking about a planned future action. Okay, and how do you understand? How do you identify the past continuous tense while still at that moment? Then these are some of the ways you can identify. This is not necessary that these words will be present. For example, he was busy packing last night, so that none of these words are present. But these are some of the identification verbs that can, adverbs that can help you identify. So she was reading a book while I was cooking dinner. So here, while is the identification word that you can see. So while I was cooking dinner, that the action was also in the past. I was cooking the dinner. At that time, she was reading the book. So the action of reading the book, this dynamic progressive action was going on when I was cooking. So cooking is also happening in the past only while I was cooking in the past. And at that time, this action was going on. Okay. So past continuous tense. So some verbs, again, stative verbs we've done. So we'll just revise quickly here. They are not normally in the continuous tense. For example, perception, possession, thinking, feeling. So see, hear, smell, know, believe, own, love, like, want, hate. All these actions, they do not change their state in the continuous tense also. So I was knowing him, that is wrong. I knew him. They will become new and not was knowing, even if they are present, past continuous. So I knew him is, again, I mean, this action happened in the past, but again, because the action of the knowing is a state and not a progressive action, so that these stative verbs, like we did, they do not change their state. Sorry, they do not change to ing form of verb. Now let's quickly do this exercise and move ahead. So again, we know the structure and we can just follow this, that my cousin was wearing boots, because was wearing is showing an ongoing action at a particular time in the past. On the beach, many children were playing and many girls were swimming in the sea. So again, these are actions in the past, continuous actions in the past. Seema was alone in the house at the time because her father was working in the garage then. Then all these actions are happening in the past. Just the difference between simple past and the continuous is that in simple past, a restive action is there. Here, the dynamism of the action is also caught. Was working in the garage. So the action of working in the garage was going on. Was climbing. The action of climbing was going on. The teacher went to see what the students were doing in the garden. Were doing. Again, the action of doing, or like the action of like the students working in the past is being described. So the simple was, were plus the ing form of verb. Simple enough. Now, past perfect tense. So we use past perfect when two things happened in the past and we want to show which thing happened first. So in the present perfect, past and present are joined. In the past perfect, past is joined. So there are two actions in the past itself, and we understand that something happened after that. So there is some sort of chronology of events in the past actions. Okay. And the structure of these statements is subject plus had plus third form of verb. For example, I had gone to Delhi before my father came. So the action of father coming and me going. So these are two actions and both of them happened in past. But this is telling that I had gone to Delhi. Like I had already gone to Delhi. The action of going to Delhi happened first and then my father came. Now, if you say I had gone to Delhi last week, it's not like correct, because there has to be a second action to compare. Only then you can say had plus the second form of, third form of verb. So these words signal the earlier action, and the words that can help you understand are ever, just, recently, already, yet, till, by the time, before, or after. So I had already taken breakfast before you asked. So the action of asking also in the past, breakfast also in the past, but we are getting to understand that the action of breakfast happened and like I had already taken the breakfast and then you asked. I had finished the book before he came. So again, two actions, his coming and my finishing the book. Both of them happened in the past, but the chronology that I had first finished the book and then you came. I finished the book after I had returned from college. So I finished the book and I returned from the college. Both things happened in past, but first I finished the book and then I returned from the college. Okay, so that's your past perfect. Past perfect as in two path. Too perfect for your like past becomes too perfect. So you take two incidents from past and compare them. Something like that you can remember. We also use past perfect with words that show a period of time before another past event. So these show that something had already been true or happening for a duration before something else happened. For example, she had known him for 2 years, or he had owned this plaza for 5 years before it was sold. So, or she had known him for 2 years, that also shows that, say somebody's saying that, before they fought, she had known him for 2 years before they fought or before they separated or before they got after they got married, or sorry, before they got married, of course. So this is sort of telling you a period of time also. Here only the happening were being compared, that which is happening first, which is happening second. Here the period of time is also being told. So this is the second type where the past perfect tense can be used or is used. So when a period of time before another past event. Again, two past events are there and one past event is telling the period of time. So we use past perfect with verbs like want, hope, expect, think, suppose, mean, intend to show that something was planned but didn't happen. Again, it also tells the desire. I had wanted to help my brother, but it's implied, but I didn't. Even if it is not written, but I didn't, it is implied that I had wanted to help my brother, but I didn't. I had expected to pass, but I didn't. So some sort of unfulfilled expectations, they are also reflected. Vishal had intended to start a business, but couldn't. Now, make the statement with past perfect tense and suitable form of verbs given in the brackets. So again, just quickly do this 5 questions and we can move ahead. So again, we had after the guest had left, we did the washing. Had left is the action is completed before the other one. So like leaving of the guest and the washing. So the uh, after the guest had left, so like washing, so first guest left and then the washing, the two actions being compared, the chronology of two actions being told. So had left. Again, she had typed all the material by last evening. Two actions are there, that typing of the material before the last evening. Okay, we had finished shopping before it started raining. Again, had finished. The house had belonged to him since his birth, so birth and like belonging of the house. uh she had not present she was not present because she had left the office when her boss called her. Okay, so simple enough. Now we enter into future tense. So future indefinite tense. So need I tell you, it is also same as future simple tense. So it's just future tense. It is used to talk about an action that will happen in the future. So promises, predictions, or general future actions. These are future simple future tense or future indefinite tense. The structure of these statements would be will or shall and the base form of verb. So the words like soon, shortly, tomorrow, next week, month, year, or in a few moments. So these are the words that you can help you identify the future indefinite tense. So they will come here shortly. So the base form of verb come and will. Ritu will take the examination next month. So these are all the actions that are sort of predictions, or you can say promises, sort of thing that are for done for the future. So these are simple future tense. Now, there are some confusing other categories, so we'll deal with them here. So, present continuous for future. So, these are used for planned or arranged actions. These are more certain than will or shall, and these are used when event is scheduled or already decided. And the structure for present continuous for future is am are plus ing form of verb. Simple enough. So they are coming tomorrow. Now it's fixed. So it is present continuous for future. We are meeting at 5 p.m. Again, this is arranged. So these have a very high level of certainty. So this is present continuous for future. It's almost like it's done, but it is not done. But the certainty level is very high. Now present indefinite for future. We sometimes use present tense to talk about fixed schedules like transport program or official events. So specifically for official events, because they are official, so they are pretty much certain to happen unless and until something out of like something extraordinary happens. So she arrives from USA next month, or the prime minister leaves for Lucknow tomorrow. So these are definite officially set actions, so present indefinite works here. Okay, we'll do some questions and then you'll understand much better. So, as a general rule, use shall with INV and use will with you, he, she, they. I shall go to school and they will play football. But it's just a general rule and not always true. But there are some special emotional uses also, like you shall not move for an order, for promise, some showing some sort of determination, for showing the duty, for expressing intention, possibility, fear. So you shall not move. That's an order. Or you shall be rewarded. Promise. I will help my brother to show the determination. You shall look after your elders. Duty. So these kind of special emotions can also be expressed using will and shall. So these are also the kind of emotions that require the use of will and shall. Now put the verbs in the bracket using either simple future or the present future or the future continuous. So if you try doing this, you will understand the difference much better. Now, I am meeting my friend tomorrow. So, present continuous is used here because the meeting is planned for a future arrangement. Now, if you were to say, I will meet my friend tomorrow, that is also true. But the difference between I am meeting my friend tomorrow and I will meet my friend tomorrow, the level of certainty. If the plan is almost 99% certain, then you will say I am meeting my friend tomorrow. But if you say I will meet my friend tomorrow, maybe the plan is 90% certain or 80% certain, 50% certain. So that is the main difference in the level of certainty. If the present continuous is there, then it's pretty much 100% sure. But if you're saying I will meet my friend, so simple future indefinite tense, then the level of certainty is relatively less. Okay, so this is the difference. You will join college next year. Again, simple future is appropriate here because it's a neutral prediction or statement about the future. You will join college next year. He will come shortly. Again, simple future fits here because shortly is a typical signal word for future. Even that is not pre-planned. Matlab, it's again he will come shortly. The word shortly is showing it's not 100% certain. She will come shortly. He'll come, like something like that. Okay, and we did. These are the signal words. So again, they help us identify. I am sure he will come in time for the class. Now this is an assurance or belief about the future. So again, simple future. I'm sure he will come in the time for class. So you see, the level of certainty is the main differentiating point. You will be speaking English after another 2 months of hard work. So future continuous is perfect here because it's a developing skill that will be in progress in the future. So future continuous. Okay. I hope it's clear at this point. Now, future continuous. So this tense is used to express an action that will be in progress at any point in the future. So that is why you will be speaking English after another 2 months of hard work. So this is showing that action is in progress, like you will be speaking but in the future. So it's a certain sort of certain action that is going to happen in future at one point in future. So will or shall be plus the ing form of verb. Okay, so she will be waiting for me when I reach her home. So again, me reaching her home is also a future action, and this will be an action in progress when I reach. So this is used to express an action that will happen at a point in future. Her waiting will happen at a point in future. So will, be, and the ing form of verb. What will he be doing when you visit him? So when you visit him in future, what will he be doing? Again, it's showing a progressive action of future. So it's a future event and progressive action. So future event, progressive action, then future continuous tense. Will, shall plus ing form of verb. So this tense is also used to show expected ongoing actions in future. For example, Rahul will be watching a movie on TV now. So like when you're aware of somebody's habits so much, you can say that, oh, he'll be watching movie on TV by now. Don't worry about him. He would be watching TV by now. He won't be sad about you leaving. Or your mother will be wondering where you are. So again, future expected actions, that because that's how your mom behaves. If you're not at home for, like, if you're gone out for a very long time, she starts wondering. So it's a future expected action that she will be wondering where you are. So this is again going to happen in future and it's expected. He will be working when we reach his office. So it's again when we reach his office it is expected that he will be working. So an progressive action at a time in future, or an expected time action at a time in future, future continuous tense. Because they are both in progression. It's not a state but a progressive action. Okay. Now future continuous tense can also express planned or definite future action. So he will be going to Pune by car today. And he is going to Pune today, present continuous. Now the difference between he will be going to Pune by car today and the other one is the level of certainty. Again, the action is happening now or planned very near future. So that is present continuous. The first, it is very near future and it is pretty much certain that it is going to happen. So that is present continuous. And if there is higher level of uncertainty, then it is, I mean, it's a bit confusing. I understand that. So you have to understand from the context. So he will be going to Pune by a car today. It's there's a lesser certainty. Then it is future continuous. He is going to Pune today. Then it is pretty much certain that he is going to Pune today. The tickets are done. He's like ready, packed his bag and everything. She will be arriving tomorrow to meet her husband, or I will be attending the seminar next Monday. So this is pretty much certain and going to happen in future. So future continuous tense. So I mean, I understand the future continuous and present continuous, they do get a little confusing at times, but if you keep doing questions, you'll understand because it's very context dependent. Sometimes the same statement can be used for future continuous and present continuous also. So it's very context dependent. Again, the stative or the non-progressive verb, we have done this, but just a quick revision that these are while they show some sort of progressive, some continuous dynamism, basically not even continuous, but they reflect the state and not an action in progress. For example, see, hear, smell, know, believe, remember, own. So we never use them with in ing form of verb. So I will be knowing him is incorrect, I will know him is correct. Okay. Now let's try to solve these questions using future continuous tense with suitable form of verb. Again, I'll pause for 4 seconds and just finish this quickly. He dash for Mr. Kapoor next. Okay, no, sorry. I'll pause. Okay, let's get to the solution. He will be working for Mr. Kapoor next week as his own assistant is expected to be on leave. So again, future continuous because this is going to happen in future, and because the assistant is expected to be on speech. So future continuous. In a few years' time, we all will be living in a multi-storied houses. We will be behaving ourselves in our school today as our principal's mood is very upset nowadays. My brother will not be drinking at the party tonight as my mother is likely to be present there. He surely will be smoking if you visit his room now. Okay. Now, the future perfect tense. The future perfect tense shows that the action that will be completed before another action in the future. So we know whenever the perfect comes, there are two actions. So in the present perfect, there were past and present. In the past perfect, there were two past events, and now in future perfect, two future events. So these sentences show that action that are expected to finish before the future moment, before a future moment. And the structure of these sentences is will or shall, have plus the third form of verb. And the indicative words would be by, before, by the time, already, yet, so far, just. So, for example, she will have already prepared food when I reach home. Again, before this action of reaching home happens, she will have already prepared the food. The action would have been done in the future. He will have rung up his wife before he arrives. Okay. So we understand that the action is completed before the second action is being talked about. Okay. So one completed future action before this second action point arrives. So before his arrival happens or before I reach home, I think the news will not have been published so far. So far is also like it, till that point in future, the news is not being published. Okay. My assistant will have typed 5 letters by lunch today. So the lunch is also a future event, but by that point in future event, this action will have been completed. Okay. That is the sense. Future perfect tense. It also is used to express actions that started in the past and are still going on and will reach a completion at a future point. So he will have known her for 2 years next month. So the knowing started in the past. At present, also the action that he knows, and for in the next month, this time period will be almost 2 years. Okay, he will have suffered a lot by now since his birth. So since his birth, he's suffering. Even now, he's suffering, and like by now, he would have suffered. That suffering is there is no end to his suffering seen at this point. She will have completed her PhD by 2026. So she started back, it's still going on, and it will be completed in 2026. So the action that started in the past, still continuing and will reach a completion. So we see the whole timeline of the action, but it's extending from past to present to future. By next week, I will have worked here for 5 years. So again, started in the past, I have been working, and if by next week this whole time period will be 5 years. Okay, so the clue word for this would be since, for, how long, the whole, throughout, all along. Okay, now let's quickly do this exercise, and we will be, I think it's quite simple, so just finish it quickly. So I will have completed this essay by tomorrow morning. At the rate he's studying, he will have qualified by next year. The ship will have left before we reach the harbor. If he continues with his exercises, he will have lost 10 kg by the end of this month. She will have known me for 5 years next month. Okay. Now, the 10th category, last but not the least, the perfect continuous tense. So, we have the present perfect continuous tense, the past perfect continuous tense, and the future perfect continuous tense. So, the perfect continuous tense is used to show an action that started in the past, continued for some times, and we want to show how long it went on or that it is still going on. So, the biggest emphasis of this category is on the duration of the action. Okay. So let's start with the present perfect continuous tense. So the structure would be has, have, been plus ing form of verb. because like I said, duration. So something has or have been going on. So, and since the action is in progress, so ing form. Okay, so to show an action that started in the past and is still happening or just stopped recently, with the focus on duration. For example, she has been reading for 2 hours. So the reading started in the past and it is still going on, and the duration has been the focus, the 2 hours. So she has been reading for 2 hours. Or I have been working on this project since morning. So the action started this morning in the morning and it is still going on. So the fact that it started in the morning and is going on, this is the focus since morning. So the main key thing to remember for perfect continuous tense is, be it past, present or future, the duration is important. So since, for, lately, recently, or 2 hours, 3 hours, 10 days, 2 days, all day, all these words, they are, the emphasis is on duration. So present perfect continuous, action that started in the past, still going on, or just got finished. Okay. Now, past perfect continuous tense, to show an action that was happening for a duration in the past before something else happened. So the structure is had been plus ing form of verb. So she had been crying before her mother came. So the crying started in the past. Mother also came in the past. So before the mother came, she had been crying. So the whole this duration of crying is the point of emphasis, that she had been crying before her mother came. They had been waiting for an hour when the train finally arrived. So the whole issue is that they had been waiting for this hour before the train arrived. So the train arrived. This is one event that happened, and she has been waiting. This event happened. But the duration of the event is also one factor that is important. So this event of waiting happened for this duration before the second event, train arrival, happened. Okay. So I had been working at that firm for 5 years before I quit. So before I quit, the duration for 5 years I had been working. So whole this is not just one action that happened. That is why it is different from the past continuous, simple past continuous. So it's a duration is important here rather than just that action. Okay, so you just have to be very mindful and not get confused with the past continuous. So it's a duration is very important in the perfect continuous tense, be it past, present, or future. Now, future perfect continuous tense. To show an action that will continue up to a point in the future. The focus is how long will it have lasted by that time. And the structure is will, shall, have been plus ing form of verb. So by next month, I will have been living in Mumbai for 2 years. So the timeline, I mean the milestone, the end, the point of measurement is by next month. It's a future event. I will have been living in Mumbai for 2 years. So the duration is being told, and the from the future point, the next month. So by next month, I will have been living in Mumbai for 2 years. She will have been teaching for 10 years by 2026. So in future 2026, the teaching started in 10 years back. So that whole duration of 10 years. So 10 years by 2026 till that future point. We will have been waiting for an hour by the time the show starts. So the like starting from the past time till the point in future, the whole 1 hour will have passed. So an action started in the past and it will continue till a point in future. This whole duration, this is being shown by the future perfect continuous tense. Okay. Now I know by now you have a bit of a khichdi or some sort of mixture of all the categories of tenses in your mind. So we'll just quickly go over everything and just have a quick revision of sort to understand what each different type of tense is and what they represent, what their structure is. So first and the simplest, past indefinite or the simple past. The structure is also very simple. Subject plus the second form of verb. So he watched a movie yesterday. Subject and watched, the second form of verb. He watched a movie yesterday. So we see a completed action in the past. An action that was done in the past. Simple past tense. Past continuous, which is in the structure of was, were plus ing form of verb, because some continuous is always talking about an action in progress. So action was happening at a specific time in the past. I was reading at 8 p.m. So the action is in progress at that specific point. So here duration is not present as was there in the past perfect continuous. Okay, so this is the slight difference that you have to keep in mind. That past continuous, an action happened at this point. Done. Past perfect continuous, an action was happening. The duration of that happening is the point of focus. So, how long something was happening before another past action. So, they had been studying for hours. So, here we are showing that this action was going on for something. They had been studying for hours before you came in. So past perfect continuous, and past perfect is what happened before another past action. So I had eaten before he came. So it's like two actions, no continuation. This action happened and then this action followed. Okay, so past perfect. Okay. So past perfect, the structure is had plus third form of verb. Past perfect continuous, had been plus ing form of verb. Okay. Then following the very similar trajectory, simple present or the present indefinite tense. So they represent habits, general truths, or some scientific truths, or some regular habits, regular things frequently happening. So we discussed that the adverbs of frequency are the indicative verbs. So she reads daily. So the word daily gives away that it is a like daily regular thing, simple present tense. She reads daily. This happens daily. It's a regular thing in happening in present. So simple present tense. And the structure is subject plus the first form of verb. But if the subject is in the singular form, then he, she, it, he, she, or he, she, then it will have s or es. Okay. Then present continuous. The structure is am are plus ing form of verb. So it shows that the action is happening now or almost like slightly in future till now. So I'm studying now. So here the action is happening present continuous. I'm studying now. So it's a action in progress. Present perfect, has and have plus third form of verb. So it shows the past action with the present result. So the action happened in past, but the result is important. The focus is on the result of the action. So he has finished his homework. So while the work was done in the past, it is finished. The result, finishing of the homework, is the present we are talking about, and hence the present perfect. So we remember that present perfect. We'll remember how if you have to make your present perfect, you make your past also perfect. So present perfect has an element of past. The action happened in past, but the effect is still relevant in the present. Hmm? So present perfect continuous. Again, for perfect continuous, we discussed that the duration is important. So action continuing from past to the present, and the focus is on the duration of the action. So has, have been plus the ing form of verb. So we have been waiting since 5 p.m. So we are trying to emphasize for the longest, the long time that we have been waiting. We have been waiting since 5 p.m. So the action, the duration of the action is the point of focus in this category. Okay. Now, future indefinite term. Future indefinite, the structure is will, shall plus the first form of verb. Again, it's general future action. They will go to school. This is an action that will happen in future. So, it's future indefinite or simple future tense. Future continuous, again, will, shall, be plus ing form of verb. So, action in progress in future. I will be working tomorrow. So, this is a continuous thing. I will be working. So, working is showing a progressive action, but that will be happening in future. So, action in progress, but future. I will be working tomorrow. Future perfect. The structure is will, shall, have plus third form of verb. So action completed from future time. So she will have left by 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. is has not yet happened. But this by this time in future, this action will be finished. It will be done. She will have left by 6 p.m. So that's why in future that the time by which the action will be completed is in future. So by this future time, this action will be completed. She will have left by 6 p.m. Future perfect continuous. Will, shall, have been plus ing form of verb. Again, the focus is on duration. Ongoing action till a future point. He will have been living there for 10 years. Next month, say like that. So next month is his 10 years anniversary of living there, something like that. So by the future point, the duration, that is the future perfect continuous. He will have been living here for 10 years by next month. So you can actually complete this statement. My bad. He will have been living here for 10 years, comma, next month. So by this point in next month, he will have been living here for 10 years. Okay, please complete the example in the future perfect continuous. He will have been living here for 10 years next month. Okay, next year, whatever. Now, if you have understood these, we'll try to attempt these exercise and then we'll call it a day. So again, I'll pause for some time and just try to attempt these questions. Since there we will do 5 questions each for past, present, and future. So I'll pause at each of these for 3-4 seconds. So you can pause and solve these. So here I'll pause for 4-5 seconds. So please try to solve this. Okay, let's get to the past. Okay, now the future. Okay, I hope you've attempted these questions. So these are the answers. She has known me since 2004. So for know, it becomes known. Know is a stative verb. We have done stative verb. So we use present perfect to show a state that started in the past and it is still continuing. Okay. So for last 10 years, he has owned his factory. Again, own is again a stative verb. So we will, even in the continuous form, it will not be ing form. So we use present perfect to show the ongoing possession. He has been studying in the same class for the last 3 years. Study. So use present perfect continuous to show the ongoing activity for the last 3 years. So present perfect continuous, the duration. Nina has not eaten nutritious food since morning. So the action is not happening. The present perfect is used with since to show negative result. It has been raining for 2 days now. So an ongoing action that started in the past and it is still continuing. So we have to use present perfect continuous. The whole day long, he had been sitting at home and had been reading a book. So, ongoing past action before specific time, use past perfect continuous for both verbs. So, similarly, for all the other, because the video has already gotten a little long, I think you can have a look at these solution because the solution has been provided along with the explanation. So, I hope you'll be able to understand. And this is for the future tense. So, with this, I hope the tense does not make you feel tense anymore and you have some sort of clarity. If you go through this video once again and then when you're closer to your exams, just the last portion of the revising the tables will help you. So please just go through the video once more and I hope you will be able to understand all the different types of tenses and this won't make you feel tense anymore. So thank you so much. Keep practicing. Bye bye.